on. Give it a flip.
Up!
All right.
Yeah!
Right on. Metal Summoners, we are back with you. We are live again. Rockin' Pod's going great. We got an impromptu one for you, but that's just kind of how we roll because this dude has us on speed dial because he knows that he is always welcome.
And he's family.
This is family. This is our guy. Here. This is Todd Poole. This is Roxy Blue in the house.
What's up, guys? What's up?
How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good and just glad to be at Rockin' Pod. It's awesome this year, man.
Yeah. Bigger space?
Yeah, I wish we were playing. None of the guys in the band were able to make it at the last minute, so but I wanted to do acoustic, but I brought my lovely wife, Amy, with me this year, so it's kind of weird because I'm glad we were able to hook up and do this interview. And but I ran into an old friend of mine, the guy who actually made it happen for Roxy Blue, Tom Zutaut from Geffen Records back in the day. Yeah, I just ran into him, and that was going to talk to him a little bit. But he's he's the one who signed us, man. And back in the day when it was all fun and games, and not to say it's not fun now, but it was really fun then.
Absolutely. I mean, with an event like this, it's geared so much to almost like a family reunion for you, where you've got so many just peers around. You know, when I came over to grab you for the interview, you're hanging out with Anthony from Tora Tora.
Yeah, I stayed with Anthony last night. We stayed with Anthony and Anita, and yeah, this whole event, all these people, man. That's what with all the podcasters and stuff. It's like what keeps that rock and roll alive to me. I mean, it keeps it on the front line, keeps it aware, keeps everybody. You just see how much people love rock and roll, man. I mean, everybody, rock's dead. I mean, not to me.
Not to us. Absolutely. So what's going on currently right now, 2023, with Roxy Blue? You put out an album recently. It's been doing great.
Well, we did the one with Frontiers.
Right.
That was a cool record, and then we actually recorded an entire new record. It was done. We were about to mix the last song before we went to master, and we parted ways with our drummer Jimmy at the time, and we just parted ways. And he recorded our stuff at his studio, so that didn't really turn out well, but I mean, we're still cool. Jimmy's a great artist, and he's a great guy. Probably just hadn't got around to giving us our stuff back, but it's been a while. So we got a new drummer named Chris Cook, and he's an amazing drummer, an amazing guy. He's got a great look. The band's tight.
If people go to your socials, you have posted group shots of the four members. Does that include Chris?
We got a new promo out, and so we're recording for a new record. Hopefully we can get something out this year. We've already talked to the studio about it. Getting ready to play a show in Memphis. We call it a warm-up show. We're getting Every Mother's Nightmare is going to be playing with us, and then we're headed to LA to play the Whiskey.
Yep, you guys are playing with
Steel City.
Steel City.
Playing with Steel City, and I don't know the other bands. There's Victor from Native Sons. One of his bands is playing, I think. But I mean, we have never played the Whiskey. I drink a lot of alcohol back in the day in the Whiskey, and hung out there a lot. But but we played the Troubadour when we were there.
So that's what's in this can.
No, this is actually Mountain Dew to drive home to Memphis. But we played the Troubadour the last time we were in LA, and eons ago for a Westwood One broadcast. The guys in Motley, Tommy, kind of announced that. I think Shotgun Messiah was on that bill, and they announced that we were going on tour with Motley Crue. So we were just on a high. We were just high on the hog, man. And of course, that never panned out because of everything that happened. But we're excited to go to LA. Excited to get some new stuff out, and yeah, man. Hopefully, it's going to look good for us. You know, we just do it for a different reason now. I think a lot of these guys are just out playing and just want to do it for the. We're not chasing anything anymore.
No.
But we're excited to rock, man. Oh, hey, we're doing. Man, it's weird. It's not that big of a deal. I feel like I always want to bring it up. So we play original music, obviously, except for Squeezebox, which we did our own way.
Right.
But I walked into rehearsal the other day. We had a rehearsal, a once in a blue moon rehearsal, and I brought in. I'm notorious for bringing stuff in at the last minute, and I said, "Hey, man, I got this 2-minute song I want us to do. It's a cover song, and I made a heavy version, and I'm gonna play it and see what you guys think." And it's Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles. Dude, it's heavy, it's rocking, and we're throwing it right in the middle of the set. So we're gonna be right in. So just to let everybody know, if you're in the LA area around the April 12th, that's the week of NAMM. It's us at Still City on Wednesday the 12th. It's I think Enough's Enough plays on Thursday night. Faster Pussycat on Friday night. LA Guns on Saturday night, and it's the 51st anniversary of the Rainbow.
Hell yeah!
So it's going to be
absolutely.
It's going to be a humongous week. So we're just honored that we were, actually asked to do it. So
absolutely. Go ahead, Angel.
I just want to go back when we had the pandemic. When we played in Baltimore, I think it was April 18th. That was like the first show when we're actually able to see concerts. So how was that like when you had that period of time where you cannot perform or anything?
You mean prior to that?
Yeah.
Well, it was weird because it's weird you asked me that because I was just talking to somebody about the Frontiers thing. I think we were supposed to put a record out within that year. But we really weren't looking at it that way. We're looking at it like, who wants to put a record out now? Nobody's going to buy a record. Nobody can go to shows. No, you can't promote it. You can't do nothing. And I think Tora, not to speak for them, but I think they were kind of in the same thing. I mean, you're kind of like, you're still freaking out about what's going on. You can't even go to Disney World. No, who wants to wear a muzzle and go, you can't breathe, you can't do nothing. So it was a weird time for everybody. So I looked at it. I did some writing and stuff, but we missed the boat with Frontiers during that. We didn't put a record out. We didn't offer them a record in that year. And they're kind of like a conveyor belt, They want that record out, and then they want the next one out. So that ended our deal with Frontiers. So
that was going to be a question for us with the upcoming Roxy music. Is it going to be on Frontiers again?
It's not. We're not even sure how we're going to do it. I want to do a record. I mean, I think, like once again, I'm not speaking for Tora, but I like how they're doing their things. They're putting out singles. I like that. But I want a product, especially to be able to sell at shows and people to be able to put in their cars and listen to. And I think it's gonna be a heavier record. I'm really shooting for heavier. I never wanted to say that.
Before. You look at like the new music that's been coming out recent. The theme has been that everything's been heavier. Like even guitar wise, even with the new Extreme and Winger, it's all been much heavier.
Right,
so
right.
Something that's
probably an aggression that everybody's trying to get out. I mean, so I got a couple things I'm working on. I want to come out with a new Roxy record. And then I was talking to Anthony about this, I was thinking about just releasing a CD called Story of My Life or something like that, and just releasing all my ballads type music that I've done. Just, get that out of the way. But I think it would be cool because I'm really writing a lot of heavier stuff now. And that would be a good outlet for me just to kind of get that out there for the people that just like the love songs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're all suckers for the love ballads.
Everybody needs a little love song. Even if you're heavy and you don't want nobody to know it, you're by yourself sometimes and you're like, I'm not saying you're throwing on Barry Manilow, but, everybody needs a little love, man.
Absolutely.
Which Jay has found, by the way.
Yes. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Mine's left me.
She's good.
Well,
they always come.
That happened too.
Nah, totally. Todd, when you look back at the current history of Roxy catalog-wise with the music that you've released, do you write music now differently at your current age than you did back when you were 18?
Absolutely. Because back in the day, and I know this sounds cliche and it sounds normal, but I mean, I didn't know anything but party, sex, drugs. I mean, that's all we did, man. I mean, so it was all just fun and games. Everything was tongue in cheek. And then I like to say I grew up, but I don't think I grew up that much. But I have so much more to write about, being a father, being a husband, and just life in general, just so the subject matters get a little deeper because you live, you love, and you lose. We've lost so many. I've lost family members. So you have so much more stuff to write about, and that's my outlet. My outlet is to write a song instead of sit around and talk about it. And so, yeah, I mean, I think you could tell on the last record we did, it was not only a heavier record, but it was so much different than Want Some. It was 27 years after the fact.
Yeah.
I mean, we still play a lot of the Want Some stuff, but you got to squeeze in everything. So
Absolutely.
We play a lot of the newer stuff off the last record, and we also we're playing some new stuff that has not been released yet. So
Absolutely. When I come out, you're still going to let me guitar tech for you, right?
well, you always have that. That chair is yours, brother.
Hell yeah, my guy. Right back to you, Angel.
As far as touring, like overseas, can we expect you to tour overseas at some point if it comes up?
Man, I want to. So our drummer used to be in a band called Medieval Steel, and they did a lot of Europe stuff, and they did really well over there. Because those guys over there are just like fucking metal,
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, it's all a money thing, to me, because I'm not really about going over there. It's not about going over there and getting rich. But you got to get out there and you got to let people, and people want us to come. And I know Japan, they want us to come to Japan. I would like to go do that stuff if you could do it without, going in the hole, doing it. It'd be short runs. I'd like to go over and do it. But from what I understand, and I know my friends in Kickin' Valentina, they're cool. They got that. The bottom line is this. We're going to try to get over there and do it. And I'd like to make things happen sooner than later. I know that this next year, just to answer it in one day, we're going to try to get out and play as many shows as we can, be overseas, this side of the border or whatever. We're going to try to play as much because I've been kind of hampered with that.
When you put on the show, it's like a big party.
It is like a
So
party.
that was the cool thing about seeing, even at BLE, it was still like a party.
It's a nice
So you guys
workout.
go on stage.
Yeah, I mean,
And you're that way on and off. Like off stage, it's almost like you're like the same person as on stage. You're still, this fun.
you're supposed to be though, aren't you? That's how I'm wired. I mean, you got to smile and have a good time. We're all one here,
but
right?
that's you, like all the time, like on stage and off stage is the same person.
You're awesome, man.
Absolutely.
You guys are great,
And for
man.
people that see Roxy Blue now, it is still half of the original Roxy Blue.
Yeah,
How
Josh
do you,
and I.
How do you and Josh look at, how's your just overall relationship, camaraderie, writing ability, and just stage presence still feel 30 years later?
Man, it's just a natural thing. I mean, Josh is still a beast on the bass. I just think that we don't try to be what we used to be. We just try to roll with what we are now. And everybody our band gets, I think that's very important. We all get along like bros, because we got to get along. We got to have fun. And we don't try to force the issue. We're not going to try to be something we're not. We're just going to try to make the most of what we have. And so far, the most is sounding pretty damn good.
Hell yeah.
So we're looking forward to everybody hearing the new stuff.
Fuck yeah. Todd, family forever, brother.
Family
Always,
forever.
man. You're always welcome anytime.
The Metal
Absolutely.
Summit. Always
Absolutely.
listen to
Yes.
this. The best. Love this thing. Hey,
Thank you,
love
Metal.
you guys.
Todd, this is someone that knows what a good podcast is.
Man
Heck
knows.
yeah, man. You guys are awesome and their family. And I hope everybody has a great time at Rockin' Pod. Chris and the whole gang did a great job this year. And just looking forward to hanging for a little while before I go back to M-Town.
Absolutely. Roxy Blue all over their socials.
Yes.
Follow it,
And when is
get
the thing
on
again?
it.
At the whiskey.
At the whiskey.
April 12th, Whiskey
April
Go-Go.
12th, get your ass to the Whiskey Go-Go. Roxy Blue, Steel fucking City.
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
Let's do this. We thank Todd Poole. He's friend. He's family. We love the guy. We're going to let him get on with his day and his other interviews. Metal Summit. We will be back. Metal
In 5
Summoners, we
minutes.
love you. See you in 5.
Peace out.
Rock on.
Thanks, guys.
Thank